You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Are you ready to learn the 3 secrets to launching a successful podcast? Hi, I'm Bill, a recent client of the Podcast Mogul. If you've been thinking about starting a podcast but aren't sure where to begin, he's got you covered. He is hosting a free webinar where he will share the 3 secrets that can help you launch, grow, and monetize your podcast without any fancy equipment or technical headaches. Click the link in the show notes to save your spot now and let him help get your podcast off the ground.
I'm like, he's like, all right, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. And it flopped hard. But it wasn't the course that flopped. It was like whatever I was doing, because I came from the business world. I was an assassin in literally anything business to business. I could go.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast. I am, of course, your host with the most feel better. And I really do hope that you guys have had a great holiday season, a great new year, and looking forward to what you can accomplish in 2021. I know I'm ready, and if you are a business-to-business person or you are looking to get into the business-to-business selling world, I have a treat for you. I have Mr. Harrison Barron on, the Millennial Entrepreneur himself. He will give you tips and tricks, and this is an episode I was so happy to record when we started talking. It was the best. This podcast is so much value. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's just get into it. Get ready for an amazing podcast with Harrison Barron, the Millennial Entrepreneur. Harrison, tell me about yourself. Like, where did you start? What got you interested in all this? And you mentioned before you had a podcast. Like,
yeah, man.
What's your story? Give us a quick intro, and then we'll just jump into wherever I feel like jumping into.
All right, cool. So, started out as a 9-to-5 employee. It was, I really can't complain. I probably make my old boss. He was just a really good dude. Seemed probably way worse than what he actually is. He cared a lot about me. He took me under his wing. I started out as a bartender, and I was a volunteer fireman. I went to school for computer programming, and I just happened to kind of stumble upon this. One of the guys in my firehouse was like, hey, my brother owns an IT company. I know it's not computer programming, but it might be something that you want, right? So I was like, you know what? Maybe it is something I want. And so literally I was like, you know what? I'll just try it out. I'll see what happens. And sorry, I'm just trying to get my colors correct here. There we go.
All good. Don't
and I was like, you know what? Fine. I'll give it a shot. It's a foot in the door into like tech, right? That was the selling point to me. And then he was like, all right, look, you started as an intern. I made garbage money, like, and I was older. Like, it wasn't like I was like 18. I went to a local community college on Long Island for 3 years, and I had like built up a lot of experience, and I had a lot of jobs in the past. So it's not like
fresh out the gate.
Yeah, it wasn't like I just, it was like my first or second job. It was like I had already started working. I knew my value. I knew I worked hard. I knew what I liked and I knew what I didn't like, which I think almost weighs more than expertise. And so I was like, whatever. And then he's like, every time I'd go out, he's like, dude, you were there for like an extra hour. Like, why were you there? I was like, I was just talking to the customer. By the way, that customer needs a whole new tower, and they need this computer, and they need this, and they need this. And they're like, wait, we just paid you for an extra hour, and you just sold an extra $1,000 worth of equipment. there's something wrong here, right? You're a tech making minimum wage who's not even like a tech. I was an intern, and you're selling equipment. So they're like, there's obviously something broken here, and we need to fix it. So he's like, hey, would you be interested in doing sales? And I was like, I mean, I kind of sell already because I was bartending, and bartending is like
100% sales.
This is the best drink you're ever going to have. It's all sales. And, and, you know, anybody that tells you there's not money in bartending and waiting tables sucks at upselling. That's literally it. It's, you know, oh my God, do you want a nice cold beer? Right? The word cold, or do you want another drink? Right? Nobody wants another drink. They want a nice cold beer. Like, that's $6. That's an extra $2 you're going to make. How many cold beers can you sell every night? How many ice creams, the creamiest fudge brownies, right? Like, people that like I used to work with this dude Pete. I'm going off on tangents here.
It's dude, I love tangents, so don't worry. I'm invested already in this. I'm like, dude, I want to hear about this story. Tell me more about these cold beers you sold.
Pete. And Pete and I happened to be in the same I happened to join Pete's fraternity years later. It was like a 35, 40-year-old dude. Meanwhile, I was like 20, 21 at the time. And Pete was a thick dude, like
full figure.
350, 400, maybe a little more. But him and I could sell. And that's kind of where I learned how to sell. So it was just, you know, they were always like, push more margaritas, push more desserts, push more of this, right? So I was like, this is, you know, it's not that hard, right? Like, do you want whipped cream for an extra $1? Fuck yeah, I want whipped cream. Like,
who's going to say no to whipped cream?
Yeah, if you don't ask me, do I want avocado? Chances are pretty good I'm not getting avocado. But if you say, hey, do you want avocado on that, right? That's an extra $1.50. I know, I came from the culinary world. I know that avocados are not $1.50, right? No. They're 50, 75, maybe $1, right? You're paying $1.50 for a quarter to a half, right? That's some good margin, and it takes 10 seconds to slice it. So he realized that this kid knew kind of what I was doing and how to talk to people, and just, you know, go right to the owner, shake his hand, look him right in the eyes. Hey, I'm Harrison. Has everything, like, this is what I'm here to do today. While I'm here, is there anything else you need? Oh, can you take a look around, see if we need anything, whatever. Yeah. Oh, you do need this, right? And it was that easy, because I was so conditioned, even though I wasn't going to make the money. It was like
part of your job.
It was time. Yeah.
You just bring value to the person. You're like, look, I'm already here for this. Let me see if there's anything else I can help you with. And if there is, I'll get it done now. And you don't have to worry about scheduling another fucking call.
Exactly. And
you're bringing more value than they're expecting. Under promise, over deliver.
Always. So and I was like, look, I'm not going into sales unless I have formal sales training. And I was always involved in technology, so it was already a good fit. And so I went through Sandler sales training and just learned like how to be an assassin, because I was really good at selling when I already had like bonding and rapport down. If I knew you, oh my God, it was game over. I could sell you anything under the sun, because you're like, oh, I trust the thick dude, right? Like, that's who I was, right? I was a fluffy dude. I could sell you anything, and you'd be happy as could be, because I never sold you trash. That was the other thing. I always made a commitment to, I was never going to be a slithery, slick salesman. I always, if I didn't believe in the product, I just wouldn't sell it. You know, I got yelled at back in the day. Why aren't you selling this? I don't believe in. Like, that's just how I roll. I'm not going to
have
them
come in and sell something for $100 that I know works, than sell something for $200 and they're pissed off at me the next day.
Yeah. You know, and so worked in sales for a couple of years. Loved it, absolutely loved it. You know, and then it hit a point where I probably would have I definitely would have taken a bullet for my old boss. There's no doubt about that, and I probably still would. He was a good dude. I really can't say anything bad about him. And but what happened was I was doing all these sales, and I was talking to friends in the industry, and they're like, dude, how much money do you sell? You know, what'd you sell this month? I'm like, I don't know, $100,000 worth of stuff, whatever, $150,000. They're like, oh, dude, you're probably killing it. I'm like, dude, my commission check was like a couple $1,000. And they're like, whoa, hold up. You're selling all this and you're only making a couple $1,000. There's a major disconnect between what's going on.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, there needs to be a resolution for this. So I was like, look, I just want more commission. Like, work it out. I don't want any more hourly. I don't want any more salary. Just give me more money. That's all I ask for. And the problem is it's not that they didn't come up with numbers. The numbers were, they definitely needed tweaking. Hold on, I'm closing this here. The numbers definitely needed tweaking, but the problem, the real problem comes from it took so long to implement, which is what really hurt. So it took like 6 or 7 months, and then the numbers still weren't right, and they were dragging their feet. And I'm like, I'm dying. And at that time, I had started a podcast. My podcast is called the Brutally Honest Podcast, and it's very similar to this. I've had the full gamut of everybody on the show, and what had happened was I just got so fed up with it. And between bartending, I knew a lot of people, and I was an Eagle Scout in town. I always worked in the local stores. And I was kind of telling a couple people, I'm like, look, I really like my job, but like, I'm just not making the money I need to make. And like, it's taken too long. Like, the company's making buco bucks and I'm not making much money at all.
Pennies.
Yeah. So I'm like, this has got to change. And one of my buddy John, he owns a company called Watch Gauge. Definitely go check him out if you guys are into wristwatches. WatchGauge.com. I have to give him a plug.
Of course, fully. One of the top links.
So he's like, dude, come to my warehouse, build a studio, and like he's like, look, somebody paid it forward to me. I'll pay it forward to you. Come crash with me and run your business from there. And I was like, all right. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, though. Like, I had built a podcast website, and I had built a podcast, and I had run some social media, and it was starting to gain some traction. And I was like, maybe I could do marketing, right? Like, I don't know.
Marketing, sales, close enough.
Yeah, I'm not. I wasn't technical enough to go start an IT company, and I didn't want it to step on anybody's toes or anything like that. And so I was like, you know what? Let me start a marketing company. And it took about a year. I had a couple clients with me that literally, when I say like I paid my bills, I literally had a balance of $0 at the end of the month. I paid my car, I paid my phone for a year. I had to pay for software. Like I couldn't, and it was like, how do I get leads? How do I do this? How do I do this? And I don't want to be a shyster and sell something that, I can't do. Like, that was one of my other biggest fears. Like, people were like, hey, in the beginning, can you do SEO? I'm like, no, I can't do SEO. Like, there's no way.
So hard.
And, now going forward, I happen to be extremely good at it. But, like, it took me almost 3 years to get to, like, where I am. So it was like, he let me crash there. And literally for the first year, I literally had like $300 in my bank account, and I was like, all right, I have $300 in my bank account. Like this is profit. Like, I've covered all of my expenses. We now have actual profit. I literally don't owe anybody money. Like, this is magical. Like, I have earned money to pay for all my shit and profit. And I fucking was so excited.
Did you buy yourself a steak dinner?
What?
Did you buy yourself a steak dinner?
No, I blew my load on Salesforce. And you know what Salesforce did? They fucked me. We can curse, so you give me that permission. So
it's quite fine.
I got so screwed. I bought Salesforce. This dude, I reached out to them, and this dude was like, he promised me the world, right? Mm-hmm. Knight in shining armor, handsome, right? And I was like, dude, I would make sweet love to you. Like, this sounds so good. It sounds too good to be true, right? They're like, oh yeah, you're gonna have a rep. They're gonna help you. They're gonna help train you. There's also modules you can go through that. We're gonna give you some sales strategies, this, that, and the other thing, bro. I signed up. Crickets, and I was like, oh my god, I don't even know how to use this. And like, the tutorial sucked because they're going after companies that don't want to spend $100,000, $10,000 a month, where they actually do get these benefits, right? You as a $300 a month, $25 a month user, right? They don't care about you.
You're not the bottom dollar.
What?
You're not the bottom dollar. You're just You're just there.
So I was like, fuck. I'm like, this sucks. I'm like, all right. So then I found HubSpot, and HubSpot is the shit.
Really?
Discovered? Oh, I love the shit.
Okay, you love it. Okay, I thought you were going
is
like,
the shit. Is the shit.
is the shit. Yeah, no. I just started touching on their HubSpot stuff, and I'm like, wow, this
HubSpot's been incredible. And HubSpot kind of promised me the same thing, and I had cold feet for sure. And this girl Serena, she was like, I think it was Serena who originally signed me up, and she's sweet as a peach and helped me out tremendously in my business. And it's just been growing ever since. And like that was, it took me probably like 1.25, 1.5 years to like really learn what I was doing, because it was like, I could go build a website. I could run your social media. It wasn't hard to go run somebody's social media, but I was just making enough money to get by, maybe putting $100 in the bank account. And then I would go spend $100 and, not even on steak dinners, but like something else for the business. So I bought a camera, I bought a microphone, I bought, whatever it was to help the business grow. And then now, like, fast forward, we're here today. That's it.
So it took you about 18 months before you were solidly on your feet for the business, you would say?
Yeah, for sure. From knowing nothing. Like, for anybody listening to this, if you happen to be like a pro in what you're doing, chances are pretty good you'll be fine if you go start your business. You have to make sales. The most important, like, that was one thing that nobody ever really told me, was you got to make sales. If you don't make sales in your business and you're not worried about your next sale every hour of the day, you're going to be broke, and you're going to have a failing company.
Yeah.
And you got to believe in what you do. Like, I didn't believe in what I did. I believed in myself and what I could possibly do.
Yeah.
And that was more important than what I could do. And I knew that people saw I cared enough, and I didn't charge enough money, but they were like, he cares so much. He would die for this, for me to succeed.
Yep.
And that was what took me, I don't want to say to the next level, because I don't have a huge business. I just have 2 employees, but like that took me to a comfortable level now where it's like, oh, okay, we're making some kind of money now. Like, we're not poor.
You're making enough money to pay yourself plus 2 employees and cover the bills and make a profit. So, sir, you are successful. Period.
Thanks,
end
man.
of discussion. For me, if I'm looking at it from my point of view, where I'm just starting, so I'm you a year and a half or many years ago, but back on your first original journey, taking me 18 months. I'm just starting, man. I'm getting my feet wet. Sure. Starting this understanding and how I know how podcasting work, but to the next level, because my first podcast technically was a failure.
Okay. Sure. I had a failed podcast too. I have more failures than successes. That's for damn sure.
And I've just started listening again to Gary Vee. And one of his things is he loves collecting L's.
Yeah. Facts.
Because you learn. You fucking learn from it. And I learned so much from the failure of my first podcast, because I was like, oh, it's haphazard. We'll just do it for fun. And it just burnt me out. I was just burnt after 3 years of doing it. I was like, I don't want to do this podcast anymore.
Yeah. It's people think podcasting is easy.
Oh, God.
Because, like, this shit's easy, right? Getting on a Zoom call and bullshitting about success or money or entrepreneurship,
movies,
sex,
anything,
rock and roll, like whatever it is, right? Like whatever. There's a podcast for rainbow colored people, bro. Like, if you are somebody that likes to eat crayons, I bet you there's a podcast for it. Like, you name it. Like, there are hundreds of thousands of podcasts now, and everybody's looking for a niche, right? Like, I was looking for help with the new dog, right? And sure enough, there's a podcast. Like, literally, how to train your puppy. Like,
yep, it's insane.
Small dogs. Like, that is how niche it's going. And dude, it's just like, it's wild, and it's a lot. Like, the post work and posting it and scheduling it, that's the hard part.
Mm-hmm. It's all the post work. Like, this is the part I love. I love talking to people, listening, understanding, getting the information, going, oh my God, what about this, that, spitballing the ideas, sweating profusely while I have this giant light on me. That's the fun part. But it's the after work where you have to do, okay, now I have to edit the podcast. I have to make sure the levels are right. I have to do the intro. I have to get it up on the website. Okay, now I have to wait. I have to copy and all that. And it's like, ugh.
And like, not only is it boring, it's like not fun. Like it's not even like boring where it's like, all right, I gotta wait. It's not like waiting for a bus or a train where you could just whip out your phone and just play a game and kill some time. Like, it's like, it sucks. It sucks. Like, for me, billing is that thing. I hate billing. And it's so all my customers laugh. They're like, dude, you need to start billing me because I owe you like 2 months worth of stuff. And I'm like, dude, I hate billing. Like, I don't want to, it's not that I don't want to bill you. I just hate the process of opening QuickBooks. Like, it's like root canal. It's awful.
Yeah. I think like I want to, like, you're providing so much great content for my friends, for the listeners by your story here. I want to try and help you. Have you looked at Zapier?
Yes, I have looked at, Zapier. I'm Canadian. I like the way you said it though. Like, Zapier. It sounds fancy.
Yeah. It's the Canadian. It's a Canadian way. Zapier.
But I have. But of course, like everything, if you want to integrate it, there's always a cost associated. Yeah. In the digital marketing world, people think overhead's low, which for the most part, especially as you get to like a bigger company, I would say it truncates very quickly. But as a solo or a small business, I would say sub 10 or 15 employees, that's when it's the most, it's like, it's almost counterintuitive. Like, they tell you like, oh my God, like, you're going to, like, we have the starting rate, right? But like,
that starting rate does nothing for you.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, the starting rate does nothing for you. And then like, you're like, okay, well, yeah, like I have QuickBooks Online. That's the cheaper one, right? It's like $45 a month. But like, because it's like a premium app, now Zapier makes you pay another $10, right? But like, if you paid $25, you would have like 25 integrations. But you don't need 25 integrations because you don't have that many, like, you don't have that you don't need it because you don't have that many people.
No, like, I use it right now. I'm using it strictly for the uploading my YouTube videos. Sure. Because it's free. Just Dropbox to YouTube. Boom. I don't have to worry about the processing, the uploading, and all that. Makes my life a hell of a lot easier because I just throw them in and it uploads them all, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yep.
I'm like, I'll come back the next day, do all the editing that I need to for it, and boom, we're golden. But like you said, like, when you're a small solo person, you need to use all those free things that you can, but they're so limited at some points.
Yeah.
And you're like,
it's brutal. I will say, if there's one piece of advice that I could give any listener right now, that has been the single most important thing for me growing my business and me helping other people grow their business, is ask for help. But don't ask for help like when you're like, when the oh shit moment happens. Like, this is the biggest problem, especially in the digital marketing world. Like, people always come to, because I know that you do a bit of marketing, people always come to us when they're like broke. Like, that is the worst. It's like going to the dentist, right? Like, you can't, or going to the doctor. Like, the worst time to go to the doctor is actually when you're sick. The best time to go to the doctor is like when you're not feeling that well, or like kind of when you're healthy, or a nutritionist, because now they can tell you like, hey, by the way, you should eat this, you should do this. The best time to go to the dentist is not when you have a cavity. It's 6 months before you have that cavity and you're going to get your teeth cleaned. That's the time to go to the dentist, because it's preventative care. It's getting that help. I see so many business owners, especially small business owners, that like, they, for whatever reason, they think that like by them, waving the white flag is like a bad thing. But like, if you say you need help before you actually need help, I'd much rather, and this comes from the fire department, it's so much easier to say, I figured it out. And, oh, dude, I was just ready to help you. Dude, I appreciate it. I already figured it out. Then, dude, holy shit, I need so much help. Please, 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 please help me. Dude, I can't help you. My wife's having a baby this week. There's no way.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, fuck. Like that is
or they'll come
worst
to you.
time.
Or they'll come to you. they'll come to you and they think this is their problem, this small little, oh, I want to get my website ranked or whatever. But then you look at the whole thing and you realize that one fire is caused by this over here. Then caused by over here, caused by over there, because they also haphazardly didn't spend the money, but did everything for free. And they're like, well, I did everything for free and it was working, but no, it's not optimized properly for the flow.
So it's just that. And then the other thing too is, it's actually funny. I have another friend of mine who owns a similar company. They do more website development, and we do more. We typically do. We do more like SEO work, and he's like, "Hey man," he's like, "I have this SEO client that they want to work with us, or like we're getting them from another person. Can you help me out?" I'm like, yeah, of course I'll help you out. Like that's my world. Like it's where I thrive on. I love data and analytics and going through all that kind of stuff. And he was like, all right, cool. He's like, this is the website. So I took down the website and I started doing some research on the website. And I'm like, dude, was anybody doing this prior? He's like, oh yeah, they just got rid of their person. They're looking for somebody new. I'm like, this hasn't been touched in like years. I go, so there's a major problem here. Like both just for the business wise and then ethically. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, what? This is not a new customer, right? And he's like, no. And I go, so this customer's been paying money to somebody to do a job. And like, it's not like you got like the bottom of the barrel. It was like untouched completely. And I have a serious problem with that. Mm-hmm. So, and he was like, dude, he's like, you're okay? I'm like, dude, I get so fired up about it because it's people like that ruin the reputation for guys like me who are really trying to better other people's businesses.
Yeah.
And it drives me bananas. Like, I'm okay if you're learning it and stuff like that and you're really trying to make a best effort, but like, as far as SEO goes, and this is any industry, I know it happens in every industry, but it was like, you can't tell me you paid somebody. There's no proof. Like the most elementary skills have been completely avoided. So, and that drives me bananas. So like if you're a small business owner or you're thinking about starting a business, like you're better off giving bottom of the barrel than nothing. Like do something.
Just focus on one item first that you can master and then slowly open up to everything else. Be a master of one and then become the jack of all trades.
Yep.
Or you hire the people who are jack of all trades. If you're the master of one, then you can hire someone else and you're like, oh, I need SEO. Well, I'm going to hire him to handle my SEO. Yep. But I'm going to be the master of podcasting or the master of website design or whatever, Because right now it's okay to be niche. Like you are, I looked at yours, you take it to LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's a whole nother disaster of a story.
Really?
Created completely on mistake.
Really?
Yeah. So my main business is BarronMediaGroup.com, soon to be a company called Growth Generators. And I happened to be working one day, and one of my buddies, who was also a podcast guest, happened to swing by my office because I had like an open door policy. I'm like, if you're in the area, come by, like whatever. Yeah. Like super friendly dude. I had a bar in my old office. It was sick. I had a podcast table and everything like that. And the LinkedIn thing really kind of came out of a total accident. I was online prospecting on LinkedIn, and because I had sales training and I had all this training and stuff like that, and I happened to learn how to use LinkedIn pretty well. And he's like, dude, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm working on LinkedIn. And he was like, what do you mean you're working on LinkedIn? I'm posting and like creating content, and then I'm like identifying decision makers so I can go after them as my SEO starts to build. And he's like, can I watch you? Of course you go watch me, like whatever, and starts asking me some questions. Hey, can you, how do you do this? How do you do this? How do you do this? And he's like, dude, you want to know what you need to do? I'm like, what? I'm like, he's like, you need to start a course and teach people how to use LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. And I was like, easy, right? I have the camera because I was doing YouTube. I have the mics because I had the podcast. I even streamed video games for a little while, so I have the webcam. Like I had literally everything. So it was like, oh my God. And the course is, I don't want to say it's becoming my main business. It's like my passion project right now. And while the business is kind of self-running, and especially with this whole COVID situation. So he's like, dude, you got to start a course. He's like, I'll help you start a course. Cause he had a course to teach people, project management. So,
ooh, that's even better.
Yeah. So he's like, and he was killing it, bro. Yeah. Like, I can't say numbers because he may listen to this podcast, but he was
happy.
It.
He was happy with his life.
Yeah. And I love him to death. He's such a good dude. I have another guy, I can't say enough good things about him, my buddy Dan. And he's like, yeah, he's like, dude, he's like, I'll help you, right? So I was like, perfect, right? I'll take the help. And he gave me some guidelines, and then he fell off the face of the earth. Like, and I was like, okay. I'm like, shit. I already started paying for this software. I've dumped hundreds of hours into this thing.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, well, shit, I have a course that's like pretty much made, and I don't have a mentor to help me. And it wasn't something I was interested in. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, what do I do? So my buddy Dan is like, dude, family stuff, whatever. I'm super sorry. He comes back. And meanwhile, I use a software called Kajabi. It's $200 a month, right? So like, it's not cheap.
No.
Like to host your website on plus your course. Like it's probably right out of pocket. The initial offering is the most expensive one out of all of them for sure. So I'm like, okay, here we go. So I'm like, he's like, all right, you got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this. And it flopped hard. But it wasn't the course that flopped. It was like whatever I was doing, because I came from the business to business world. I was an assassin in literally anything business to business. I could go up to $1 billion business owner and just shake his hand, sit down, talk shop, whatever. And I'm kind of like, I conform to the spaces. Like I was in a hoodie before, and I was like, I got to dress up. Like, I don't know if this is on video, but like, I got to put on something at least halfway decent. And,
I got to put clothes on. So I look
like I actually work today. I might not have pants on, but I definitely have a shirt on. So I was like, I'm like, all right. So, and it just kind of like, it didn't fail, but it didn't like succeed the way I really wanted it. And I'm like, oh my God, this sucks. Like, okay, let me start building content to it, because that's what I knew how to do. I knew how to write good content. I knew how to rank in Google. That was what I happened to just do and be good at. So now 230 blogs later, now we're getting a ton of traffic to the website, and now it's slowly starting to take off. But that was another ultimate failure, because it's been almost a goddamn year of $200 burning out of my pocket. And now I'm 30, 40, I don't even know how many tens of thousands of dollars I am in the hole between paying my content writers and me writing and spending money on software. And I didn't really run that many ads to it. And that's the other thing. Like, I didn't run ads. I was like, this, there is a bright side of it. I said, if this is an ultimate failure, as far as a course, it's going to be a ridiculously good case study, which is what I really wanted. So I was like, this is a much more expensive case study than I would have originally liked. But this is now a case study where, hey, if you write 100 blogs, you'll get here. If you write 200 blogs, you'll get here. Mm-hmm. And that's what it's kind of become. So it's a LinkedIn training course where I literally just teach people how to go find prospects on LinkedIn. And it came out by mistake, because somebody was like, hey man, you should start a course. I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, that's how the podcast came out, man. Like, my original podcast, my buddy's like, I was thinking about it. And tangent time.
Don't worry about it. I love these.
Pull up to my local
tangents.
gas station, and I go get gas. And this one, it was like a cold day. So, and normally I really try to be green and like just do things myself. I just find a lot of pride in doing things myself when I can. I grind my own coffee every morning. Like, that's the kind of guy that's what I love. I do buy a lot of takeout, especially before I moved. Now I love cooking. I did go to school for it, and I cook every meal. My girlfriend's like, why do we have a microwave? I'm like, microwave's for you. I cook everything. I'll reheat food on a skillet before it goes in the microwave. And so pull up to the gas station. It was a cold night, and I'm pumping gas, and I saw my buddy leave. I'm like, oh, whatever. He's leaving the gas station. Calls me. My buddy Cameron. Love this kid to death. He's actually I think he just graduated to be a lawyer. And something like that. But my buddy Cameron, and the first show was called We're Live with Cam and Harry. And he calls me up. He's like, dude, are you still thinking about doing the podcast? And I was just toying around with the idea. And I'm like, yeah, man, what's up? And he goes, fuck it. Let's just do it. I'm like, fuck it. Let's just do it, man. Yeah. Like, why not? Bro, we bought all the wrong equipment. We bought 2 USB mics. We plugged them in the computer. We're like, why the fuck isn't this working? Like, bro, it was awful. It was absolutely awful. And then we didn't have a studio. Like I think we were like 21, 22 at the time because we could drink. And I'm like, fuck, we don't have a studio. But like I lived in like an apartment in my parents' house, but it was like a studio. So like a studio bedroom. So I was like, all right, we'll just put a table up there and then we'll just shoot the shit and, drink up there. I'm like, but it's going to be really weird when we have like important people that aren't like our friends on, like, because that's what I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
And so we're literally like the first episode we have. So I can't remember if we did it ourselves, but I think we recorded for like 3 hours on our first episode, but we had to figure out the audio for 2 hours prior because we bought 2 of the exact same USB mics. I mean, like we had literally no idea everything in my life has been trial by fire and it's worked really well, but I've gotten really burned.
Yeah.
And so fast forward like 5 episodes, I think I returned both the mics. Actually, or this one is one of the mics that's still an OG.
Oh, nice.
And I think I gave away the other one. And then I bought a mixer. And I bought 4 mics. And I actually just sold those because I'm about to go through another upgrade. And
are you getting the Rodecaster Pro?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's the next one for me. I'm on a Behringer mixer right now.
I was on a Behringer.
I can't wait to get to the Rodecaster, man. It looks so beautiful.
And I'm gonna get the Rode Pod mics. And I'm like, look, this might not be the end all be all until I get a TriCaster. And for anyone that's listening and they're like, what the fuck is a TriCaster? That's what Joe Rogan uses.
Yeah, TriCaster is like the next level. Like it goes, just an audio interface. Well, USB mic, audio interface, mixer, Rodecaster, then TriCaster, and then broadcasting stuff.
Yeah, then you're literally broadcasting. So, so literally, it was like we're recording, and I'm like, oh my god, we're in the process of recording, and I didn't know like what the knobs did. So I'm like, all of a sudden you hear, I remember exactly who was on the show too. It was me, my buddy Cameron sitting across from me. I can remember the drink we were drinking. We were drinking the Botanist gin, and it's one of my favorite gins. And I just happened to acquire a bottle like the week prior, and we fucking slugged that thing down. And we have my friend Bailey, and she's like, hey guys, like super, cute chick. We're like, oh my god, we have a girl on the show. Like this is like I think she was the first guest, and we're like, oh my god, like this is the next level. Like now it's not just me and one other person. Like we have a guest, right? And she had a big following, so it was like, oh my god, she's a beautiful woman, and now she has like 10,000 followers on Instagram. And I'm like, we can't fuck this up, like because if she's going live on Instagram showing people, and if the audio doesn't come out right and the show doesn't come out right, like we just made an ass of ourselves. And so I'm like stressing out. I'm like, oh my god. So literally in the middle of the show, I finally get it. So like we can hear audio on one ear, and like we're like testing the audio, making sure everything works. And then I turn one of the knobs, and all of a sudden the audio goes from one ear and it pans to both ears, like that one knob. And she's like, oh my god, I can hear it in both ears. And I remember the moment it happened. We were like an hour in, and I was like, holy shit, I figured something out. I was freaking out, man. And oh my god, that podcast was so much fun. And I was like a little kid in a candy shop, like just that ridiculous breakthrough of one knob, and that was like the drug. Like that one turn was like the I don't want to say I guess it was the entrepreneurial drug, where it was like, hey, you can do this. And
the trip is now on. Yeah.
And it was like, oh my god, I could figure this out. Like, what else can I figure out? So we did, I can't remember. I think we did like 14 episodes, and then our last episode got huge. I think we got like 4,000 downloads, and this is going back like 6 years now. I think 6 years, 5-6 years, something like that. And I'm like, oh my god, dude, we got to do another one. And he was whipped, and his girlfriend, he's like, no, I got to spend time with my girlfriend. I'm like, dude, we're breaking through right now. Like, we got to make more shows. Like,
this is the time.
So he ended up bailing. The show was called We're Live with Cam and Harry. And then I went into a bit of a depression for a little while. Just like, I was like, we were on this wave, and it was just like, it was what I liked, and it was like everything. And then that's when I went out and started my new show several months later when I worked for the IT company. My boss gave me a room smaller than this room. It was like an 11.5 by 11.5 room or 10 by 10 room to make my podcast. He's like, dude, whatever you want to do in this room is all yours. And he let me have beers in there, and he let me have podcast guests in there. And the cool part was, and this is more pro tips for people, if you're looking to start a podcast, the best thing you can do with a podcast is build your network and keep in touch with these people.
Yep.
So building friendships, talking to these people, staying in contact, inviting them back, and stuff like that. And I literally built my digital marketing business before I was getting leads from SEO through my podcast.
Yeah, it's
full circle.
It's insane how like podcasting is for some people the entry into the digital entrepreneur world, because you have to wear so many hats. You have to be your marketer. Your marketing department is all you. Your SEO, social media, everything, that's you. The content creation, producing, editing, all this, unless you have capital put behind it, but most of us don't.
Sure.
And also the entry is so low. As long as you have a phone, a cell phone, and a mic, you are good. You can start a podcast. Will it be good? No. Debatable, yes. It depends on the content and how well you edit in that. But then you start getting hooked, and you're like, okay, I want to do the next thing. I want to upgrade my mic, my headphones, my mixer. I want to start videoing and all this.
Audio technicals here that I'm not wearing.
Yeah.
This is like one of my splurge buys, because I really don't buy too much stuff. This was so extra. A desktop hook for your headphones.
Wow, that is extra. I just used my mic stand.
No, I did for years, and I was like, you know what? And I was just making money at the time. I go, you know what? Fuck it. I'm getting a headphone stand, and I did. And I felt like I opened that thing like I had just won $1 million lottery, bro. And I bought it. Like, it's not like I didn't know it was coming.
Yeah,
it was like
fully knew it's coming. It's like I ordered it. I got the Amazon receipt right here.
Yeah, literally. And it's like, what does it do? It literally opens this little clip right here and slides on the desk, and that's it. And it was like, and I felt like a king. I was like, oh my God, this is like,
I've made it.
Yeah, like that was it. That was it. I was like, oh my God, like this is because I didn't really buy luxury purchases. Everything I bought, it wasn't like low grade. I didn't cheap out on anything. I bought, an A6400. I bought, a decent mic. I bought a boom stand. I bought, a battery powered lights for when I would go take photos and videos on site and stuff like that. But like, I always invested in myself and to bring it back, like every time I made money, it was always
reinvested into the company.
It was always reinvested. Like, yeah, I have nice toys now. I have a $1,500 drone sitting next to me, but like
every time I made money, year and a half to get there.
Yeah, it was back in the business. Okay, great. Like, can I offer drone services? Yes, I can. Now I can. But I had to learn how to fly it. Like, there's, I really don't love Gary Vee for a lot of reasons, but what I really do like that he pushes on people, and I think he goes so overlooked no matter how many times you listen to him, is like, you really have to enjoy the process. Like, you have to love you have to love failing. You have to love succeeding. Like, you have to, it's like somebody with like lactose intolerance eating ice cream, right? Mm-hmm. Like you have to love it so much that you're willing to go through pain for it.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, being an entrepreneur, like, don't get me wrong, there's times that Amex just called me up the other day. They're like, bro, your spending is out of control. You need to stop. Right? Like, I just moved. I spent a lot of money on the apartment and stuff like that. And like, all that kind of stuff. And we were running a ton of ads for people, and I was waiting to get paid. And they're like, where's your money? I'm like, there's a global pandemic going on right now. I'm trying to get paid here.
It's not the fact that I don't like billing people. I swear it's not that. It's the pandemic.
That also is a major factor. Every time I start billing people, Amex is like, hey, thanks so much. We like you a lot.
Amex is not like any other credit card company. They're not even a credit card. They're a charge card, first of all, because you have to clear it off at the end of the year, end of the month, or else you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Not like Visa, where it's like, carry the balance. We want you to carry that balance.
Oh yeah.
And give
well,
us
they
that
make
money.
it hurt if you don't, if you carry that balance. And I've carried it a couple times. Like, there's no doubt. I've probably, you know, but it was like, it's so funny because like if you get a call from Visa, where they're like, it's like ding ding, this is Visa credit cards calling you on behalf of fraud. Press 1 to be connected to an operator, and you're like, okay, 1, and they're like, hey, is this Harrison? Yes. Can you stop destroying my eardrums, please? Yeah. Did you use your credit card for gas in Texas? No, I did not. Okay, so are you saying that's fraud? I would assume so, considering I'm in New York. Yeah,
I'm currently sitting in my apartment in New York. So,
and they're like, okay, you need to go to the branch or whatever it is, and we're going to send you a new one. All pending charges will be canceled, and your financial future for the next 2 days is going to be fucked till you get a new one. And you're like, oh, sick. Thanks, man. And you hang up. Bro, Amex called you? Hey, we're looking for Harrison. Oh, speaking. Oh, hey, Harrison. Do you have about 5 minutes to talk really quick? Oh, yes, I do. Hey, look, we just got a notification on your account. It looks like your credit card was used in Texas, but we see here that your address is Long Island, New York. By any chance, is this you? Oh, no, it's not. We are so sorry. We'll take care of that. We apologize. Do you still have your card? Yes, I do. So it's not stolen. We just want to confirm before we before we issue one. No, it's not stolen. It's still in my pocket. Somebody must have gotten my credit card number. Sounds great. Harrison, have a wonderful evening. It's like,
and then
what?
4 days later, you have a card sitting in your apartment going, when did this come here?
Yeah. Dude, the lady, she's like, oh, God bless. Have a wonderful evening. I'm like, what? What? You just told me I owe you money, and you just said, God bless, have a wonderful evening. Visa would have been like, yeah, we're going to just destroy your credit score right now.
So here's the thing. I work for a financial institution, specifically in the fraud department.
You're going to go back and be like, guys, you need to listen to this section of the show because this is what Amex is doing, and we're not doing that.
Well, I give Amex service. I believe in giving Amex service.
Yeah.
So in my particular job, I've gone from the inbound agent receiving calls from you going, did you do this? And I always, I'm like, hi, how you doing? Let me get this done as quick as possible. I know how annoying it is. I verify the transactions with you. I'm like, okay, we noticed this. Is it you? Yes. Okay, cool. You're no problem. Your card's good to go. I apologize. It's not you. Okay, look, let me see what I can do. Okay, this is all fraud. Cool. Okay. Let me cancel this. Let me get you a new one. It's going to take about 2 to 3 business days. I'm sorry. It's the best I can do because we're passing over cutoff point. Like I go over and beyond. And then when I was doing preventative work, so calling the clients, clients actually prefer when you get the call. I go, hey, Harrison, this is Phil calling from XYZ Bank. I'm just calling about your credit card. I'm seeing a transaction here, and here. Did you happen to do it? Yes. Okay. I'm really sorry that you got declined. Fix it. Sometimes this happens. You know, we're having a fraud trend. It's annoying. And then that's what I want to receive. I call people how I want to receive the call. I don't want someone going, yes, sir, Mr. Better. Yeah, just want no. Tell me what the fuck you know. Like, get to the point. Hi, I'm Phil. I'm calling from fraud. This is what's going on. Is it you? Yes, cool. No, okay. Let me get you a card as fast as possible. Now I overnight most of the cards. I'm like, I don't have time. Yeah. Like 2 to 3 business days, normal. Like for us, it's 5 to 7 is a regular mail.
Oh my God.
But for us in Canada is different than you guys in the States. I was an American banker for a while. We have debit cards that are strictly for our bank accounts. We have virtual debit cards, which is online for your for your bank account, but we also have credit cards.
Oh, so you guys have an extra card.
In essence, yeah. Like for the financial institutions, some of them have connected the virtual card to the debit card. Okay. So it's not a Visa transaction. It's what we consider a debit, but it's on the Visa network, similar to your guys' debit card. Gotcha. So we kind of hijacked your debit card for how we're doing online, but the banking rules for Canada and the US are so different. It's amazing. Because I had to learn both, and like you guys have a lot of rules. I'm like, why do you need those rules? And then I look at the Canadian, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. It's wild here.
But it's because each state has their own banking laws, whereas in Canada, it's the federal. Boom. The Canadian government makes the laws. That's it.
Yeah, there's definitely, especially with this whole pandemic thing, I think there's a lot of people that are getting a lot of flack who shouldn't be. And there's a lot of people that are getting a lot of flack who should be getting way more flack. Yeah. Being left to the state level, like, I came from New York. New York has the top 3 highest. I don't remember what number it is.
You guys were the highest for
I think it's Hawaii number 1 for obvious reasons. It's an island in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
California and then New York. I'm pretty sure in that order.
I think Texas is up there too. I think,
but Texas doesn't have income tax. I'm pretty sure. There's certain taxes, like overall the amount of taxes that you pay in the top 3. Like Florida doesn't have income tax. So if you make millions of dollars, right, you don't pay income tax. You just pay sales tax, right? Like you pay other taxes. But in New York, you have income tax, you have sales tax, you have property tax, you have this tax, you have this tax, you have this tax.
So it sounds like Canada.
Yeah, I know you guys pay taxes, but you guys have free healthcare.
We do have some trade-offs. Yeah, we have the good healthcare, our medicine doesn't cost us an arm and a leg, and we don't go bankrupt when we deliver a child. So I'm okay with being taxed.
There's definitely some benefits up there for sure. Look, and there's benefits everywhere, right? Like it's just whatever, but you guys also get shafted. It's cold as could be out there all the time. Like, no, thank you. No, thank you. I'm not interested. I would like to go, not Florida, but close to Florida. I'm in North Carolina, which is close. It's cold. Like today was like cold and it was like,
wait. I want to know, cold, like New York cold?
No, New York cold. No, see, here's the thing. Like, this is now we've moved off of business.
It's
New York cold isn't just cold. New York cold is the coldest of cold because not only is it cold there, and like when I say cold, I mean like it hits like the single digits pretty frequently, but nobody's happy. So
and you got wind tunnels.
Oh yeah, wind tunnels are it's nobody's business. I mean, it's like nobody's business, but like people are extra douchey when it's cold. So like not only are you freezing, but people are also dicks the whole season.
Yeah.
For good reason. You don't see sun for like a week or 2 straight because it's just gray skies. Like it's miserable in the wintertime, which is why I've left. I'm like, dude, I was hanging out in the garden the other day with my dog and picking tomatoes while my homies up in New York were like, dude, it's so cold up here. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm glad I left. Like,
what's funny is I'm helping another podcaster out west. He lives in California.
Okay.
And he videos me and he's like, and I'm doing my walk. That's like I do my walk after work to get in shape because I'm trying to get healthy. I'm investing in myself, right?
Good. It's important.
And he calls me up and we're video chatting. He's like, I have my jacket on, I have my mask on, and I look like a snowman here. And he's like, dude, you look really cold. Where are you? And I'm like, I'm in Canada. It is 48 degrees Fahrenheit here. And he's in his but it's like close to, it's 9 degrees Celsius. And for us, that's our spring. But with the wind chill, because the wind hits you, right? So it's dropping down. It's closer to 0 Celsius. And that's like 32. Yeah, it's 32 Fahrenheit. And he's in his short sleeves. He's palm trees behind him. And I'm like,
yeah, dude. There's deserts in California.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, I hate you. He's like,
California is like the weirdest state because like you could literally go skiing and then to the beach in the matter of like an hour.
Yeah.
It's absurd. Like you can't do that anywhere else in the country. Like there's no mountain ranges close enough to the beach, but like you can literally go surfing in the morning after you go skiing, or you can go surfing in the afternoon after you go skiing in the morning. Like it's absurd.
Yeah, it's a very special place, California on the West Coast.
Yeah.
But so here's the thing: we're coming up to an hour. I would love to continue talking with you because the value just talking with you is so much fun. You're all my guests I enjoy having. You as well as the guests that I recorded yesterday. a journalist. You guys have been the best I've had so far. Like,
Thanks, man.
I say that to all my guests, but like the interaction, you remind me of me in essence, because you're like, you live like a yes. You just, yeah, why not? Why the fuck not? Let's do it.
Yeah, why not?
I'm going to at least try it, see if I like it. If I don't like it, then I know I don't like it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, fail and fail fast.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so what I'm going to give you 5 minutes. I want you to pitch whatever you want. If you want to pitch your LinkedIn course, if you want to pitch your SEO business, if you have your podcast, pitch everything you want, because that's the most value I can give you.
I appreciate that, man.
To my audience.
I don't pitch. Look, if you want to learn LinkedIn, by all means, come check out my website, harrisonbarton.com. That's where I post a lot of stuff. I constantly am putting up new blogs up there, new content. If you want to go and get free training, there's free training up there. Like, I'm not, I don't care if you want to message, if you're broke and you want to message me and be like, hey, can you hook me up with a free course? Like, whatever, man. Like, it's not about the money for me. I'd rather see people invest in themselves, right? And, if you're a company, you're looking for digital marketing services, we're bomb at SEO. Like, we have numbers to prove it. Like, that's it. Like, not everybody can afford what we do, which is totally fine, but like, whatever. But like, as far as a pitch, like, whatever, if that's what you want, go check out my website. Like, we're We're about to become growth-generators.com in the next coming weeks. But like, I'd rather use the next 4 minutes, now that I've kind of pitched myself for 1 minute, to just give some good advice.
Go ahead.
How does that sound?
That's even better. Give the advice that you think people need.
If you're starting a business, ask for help. We've already covered that. I think that's the most important thing. The second most important thing is you're going to lose a lot of friends. There's no doubt about it. I don't know a single business owner that hasn't lost a shitload of friends. The friends that stick with you while you have a business are your real friends. And I say that wholeheartedly because I used to be everybody's friend. I had more friends than I could literally hang out with a new person every single day, and I wouldn't hang out with the same person every other year. Like, it was absurd. Like, I had so many friends, right? They were people that I loved hanging out with. And shit, on Thanksgiving, 2 years ago, I was driving to my grandma's house. It was about an hour away. I made 60 calls to people and was just like, hey, man, and I'm a big firm believer in pick this sucker up. Like, this is the most deadly weapon on the face of the earth. I don't care what anybody says. And pick up your phone and just call people. Just be like, hey, man, just thinking about you. I can't tell you how many times a month, I wouldn't say a week because sometimes I just go on tangents, but I just send out text messages to people, like sending out positive energy. I think that is so much more important. Hey, man, how's everything going? I hope all is well. And it's not a sales pitch. Like, it's literally just, I hope that you're doing good. Most people know where I'm at in life and the businesses that I've created and the things that I'm in the process of doing. And I don't have time to see everybody. It's between moving, I now have a girlfriend. We have 2 dogs. I have other friends, they are getting married. They have kids. They do all these different things. But what's important is to not lose the most valuable connections, and your real friends will stick around with you while you're working and growing. And I still work 60, 70, 80 hour weeks religiously. Like, one of my employees, I talked to him at like 11 o'clock. I text him at like 1. I'm like, hey, man, just check your email. I just sent you over the blog. I'd love for you to reread it. And then, I sent them the blog. I literally laid down. We got another lead. So I got up out of bed, played with the dog, called the lady, and talked to her for an hour. And then we went to bed. I think we went to bed at like 1:45 as he's passed out underneath me. Like, that's the grind. And my friends are still my friends. Like, they still text me, hey, oh my God, I miss you. When are you coming back to New York? I can't wait to see you. Like, those people are so much more valued in my life. And it's not that there's anybody less valued, but like, I will absolutely move mountains to go see those people. So spend time with the people that you love. Keep investing in yourself. If you have an hour, like, I don't have a TV. I have a 65-inch TV and I don't even fucking watch it. I bought the TV for her because she watches TV. I don't watch TV. I watch YouTube. I learn, I grow, I engage, I do a bunch of stuff, but like, this podcast is about investing in yourself. Invest in yourself. Invest in your relationships with your friends, your family. And heck, if you want to hang out, fucking send me an email at my website. That's it.
That is the best ending to my podcast. I have nothing to add. It is extremely true. It's I like hearing you speak. I'm 100% like, I can see myself moving up from where I am. I can see myself in your shoes in like a year and a half.
Dude, I hope you do, man.
I
I'll
can't
tell you all
wait.
the fuck ups I made.
Dude, I am so excited to make my own fuck ups, because it's going to be like, okay, what did I do? Okay, how can I make that better? Hopefully I don't end up like broke and in the poorhouse. Thankfully, I'm not leaving my day job until this job or my side hustles produce enough to replace that. But I'm willing to, like, every night after I'm done work, I'm podcasting with someone, I'm editing the podcast, and then I'm setting up the social media so that when it does release, I don't have to do the work. It's already done, taken care of as soon as possible, so I can invest and learn more about marketing. Like, I'm going to take your course, your free course. I'm going to take it because, hey, it's a free one. I want to see, because LinkedIn is a possibility. Like, to get
there's
more
a lot
guests,
of business to be made on LinkedIn. A lot.
I can use it to get my guests, because there's probably some digital entrepreneurs there.
Sure.
There's possible for
There's a
teaching. Yeah. Teaching people how to make podcasts. Maybe, hey, there's a possibility I can do. I made podcasts. I know how to do podcasting. I can help people there. Businesses make podcasts, whatever. I don't know, but I'm going to take the course.
You figure it out.
Yeah.
The best video to watch is, I'm actually going to pull it up so I can give you the exact location of it. But this is single-handedly, if you're ever in a rut, this is the one video I watch anytime I'm like, wow, this sucks. So if you go to Google and you type in "Good" by Jocko Willink, it is the best 2 minutes and 20 seconds ever.
Jocko, I have, as soon as we're done here,
if that doesn't fire you up, like, every time I could listen to that thing, I could listen to that in my sleep, and I would get up and I could do anything. Like, it is that powerful. It is the best 2 minutes that you could ever listen to as far as a speech.
I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to also put it into the show notes for everybody else to get friggin' motivated, because if it motivates you, it's going to motivate someone else. Harrison, thank you so much for coming on my show. I'm looking forward to coming back, interviewing in a year, to see where I am, where your media empire is.
Thanks, man.
I'm going to ask you to send me a link to your podcast, so I can add this into the show notes. And I look forward to talking to you in a year.
Yeah, man. Dude, keep in touch till then, man. And if you ever have any questions, by all means, send me a message, and I'll be more than happy to steer you in the right direction.
For sure. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to Harrison for coming on and telling us his amazing story. And of course, all his information will be in the notes down below, so that you can check out his free course on LinkedIn, seeing if you need SEO management for your website or anything else he offers coming up, or listening to his podcast, because he probably has golden value in that podcast. And just listen to the end. I'm probably trying to sell you a service, or maybe suggest something for you guys to listen to. And again, have a great night, and remember to invest in yourself.
Thanks, man. Phil, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. This is an awesome podcast, dude.
I can't thank Harrison enough for being on the podcast. He was an amazing guest, and he brought so much value. I even started putting in some of the suggestions he did. And I'm already seeing dividends in the next season. So you guys are going to really see some big things coming in season 2, which is already starting to record as you listen to this. But besides that, please, I want to know what you guys found so great about Harrison's episode. So send me an email at phil@feelbetterinc.com. Let me know what you guys really enjoyed about Harrison's episode, and if you could even find anything out here that through this episode that you can use. Again, this episode is always sponsored or is made part in help by NordVPN. It's the best place to be safe online. As a fraud specialist myself, I use it all the time. So in the link down below, you will find an affiliate link that you can use to get a discount at NordVPN. Have a great night, everybody, and remember, invest in yourself.
Thanks for tuning in. Now it's time to take the next step. When you're ready to dive deeper into how to launch, grow, and monetize your podcast, Phil's got something special for you. Join him for a free webinar where he'll reveal the 3 secrets that have helped countless entrepreneurs succeed in podcasting. Click the link in the show notes to save your spot, and let's turn your podcasting dreams into reality.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.